Hi guys, today we are going to start with an interesting topic, that is how to determine the sex of a baby, or how do we know whether a baby is a boy or a girl. So before that, we have studied in a small classes that a human body is made up of different cells. Okay, so each cell has got a part called as nucleus, and in this nucleus there are some thread-like structures called as chromosomes. And these chromosomes are the ones that determine or decides whether a baby is a boy or a girl. Now, each cell has got 46 chromosomes, or other words 23 pair of chromosomes. We have learned in the previous class how fertilization takes place, right? So, ovum and sperm combines together and fertilization takes place and zygote is formed. Now, in the 46 chromosomes, 44 are different chromosomes and 2 chromosomes are called as sex chromosomes, and they are named as XX and XY, or in other words you can say one pair of sex chromosomes, that is the female pair of sex chromosome consists of X and X, and the male pair of chromosomes or sex chromosomes consist of X and Y. So when they combine together, what happens is that one of these, okay, there are two X and one X and Y, so one of these combines with the other and it determines the sex of the baby. For example, if the X of the ovum combines with the X of the sperm, that is both the X comes and the girl baby is formed. If the X combines with the Y, then XY is formed and there the boy baby is formed. So it can happen in any ways. We can't determine which will come and combine with the other, but at the time of fertilization, one of the X combines with the other X or Y, and that determines the sex of a baby. Now, moving on to the next topic, we have learned about endocrine glands in the previous chapter, right? What are endocrine glands? Endocrine glands are ductless glands, or they do not have these tube-like structures, and whatever they produce, they are directly given into the blood. So those are called as the endocrine glands, and we have learned one important endocrine gland, that is the pituitary gland. Now we learn about other endocrine glands. So the first one is thyroid gland, and this thyroid gland is seen near our throat region, and this thyroid gland produces a hormone called as thyroxine, and thyroxine is produced inside our body. If the thyroid doesn't produce any thyroxine, then that person will have a disease called as goiter, and your throat becomes big in size and it bulges out. Now the second endocrine gland is pancreas. It is seen near the stomach region, and the pancreas produces a hormone called as insulin, and this insulin maintains the sugar level inside our body. If the body doesn't produce insulin, or if the pancreas doesn't produce the insulin, they form, or that person will have a disease called as diabetes. Now the third one is adrenal glands. Adrenal glands is seen near to the pancreas gland, and they produces a hormone called as adrenaline, and this adrenaline is formed when we are worried or when we get angry. This adrenaline hormone is being produced. Now the final and the important one is the pituitary gland, and this pituitary gland controls the pancreas and the adrenal glands to produce insulin and adrenaline. And pituitary gland also produces a hormone called as growth hormone that helps in the growth or the normal growth of a human being. Now you must be wondering, we have learned different hormones in human beings, whether animals also or insects also produce hormones. Yes, they do. You must have learned the life cycle of silkworm and frog in your small classes, right? In silkworm, the pupa or the larva turns into silkworm, and in frog, the tadpole is converted into frog. If you take the case of frog, the tadpole will have a endocrine gland or thyroid gland, and this thyroid gland produces thyroxine. This thyroxine helps the tadpole to become into a frog. But there are conditions. The tadpole grows in water, right? In the water, there should be something called as iodine. A mineral called as iodine should be there. Then only the thyroid gland will produce thyroxine, and then the tadpole will be formed into a frog. If the water doesn't have the presence of iodine, what happens is that the tadpole will not be converted into a frog. Now, if you take the case of silkworm, the larva or the pupa needs a hormone or produces a hormone called as insect hormone that helps it to grow and form into a silkworm. So, now we have dealt with all the hormones. Now, let's see some general topics. First of all, let's see what are the nutrition that a teenager should take. All the teenagers should eat well, and they should also have a balanced diet. So what do you mean by balanced diet? In balanced diet we should include food like carbohydrate, vitamins, proteins, fibers and all. You can have snacks also, but try to eat more healthy food or more balanced diet food. Now the second one is personal hygiene. This is very important because during this teenager age or the growing age, we will sweat a lot. So it is very important to take bath twice a day and try to wash your private parts properly. Especially for girls, while having their menstruation or periods, try to use sanitary napkins and try to change your sanitary napkins every 4 to 5 hours so that you can avoid bacterial infection. And the third one is exercise. Try to play as much as possible, not indoor games. You can also play indoor games, but try to play outdoor games and stay fit and healthy. And the final part is that say no to drugs. The people or the girls and boys in the age of teenagers have got a great tendency to try drugs, but say no to it because you can have diseases like AIDS through the syringes that being used while transferring the drugs and all. So say no to drugs. So these are the things that you should take notice. And we'll wind up for today's session. Thank you.